Good morning, this is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
Sioux Falls police have an update on a missing teen who was found dead.
14-year-old McKenna Wendel was reported missing on March 15th. Her body was found east of Brookings this past Thursday.
I can tell you very few cases throughout the course of my career as I walked around the building last week, had the razor focus and dedication of our entire teams and partnership across the region. We were all there for one central purpose, was to find answers, find truth, and make sure that we brought her home, and justice continues in that pursuit.
No charges have been filed and the investigation remains ongoing. Authorities say there is no threat to the public.
They say everyone being looked at in connection with the case is in custody on unrelated charges.
Authorities in Fall River County are asking for help in finding a missing hiker.
The sheriff's office says 34-year-old Brock Reed was reported missing by family. His car was found at the Cottonwood Springs Dam west of Hot Springs Sunday night.
Officials say Reed visits the area often. If you have any information on where he may be, you're asked to contact Fall River Dispatch.
The mayor of Sturgis has resigned due to health reasons.
Mayor Kevin Forrester was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer last fall. Forrester sent a letter to the city council notifying them of his resignation, that it's effective as of yesterday.
The city council is expected to schedule a special meeting tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. to discuss his resignation and to figure out a transition plan.
Now let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Good morning, Brian.
All right, good morning. Our forecast today, it looks like still a pretty mild outlook for most of the region. Here is your upfront forecast. High today, Sioux Falls 58, Brookings at 56, Pierre forecast 61, and upper 60s to near 70-degree levels in southwestern South Dakota. Tomorrow looking a lot warmer, less clouds too, but then another change going into Thursday and Friday, another drop in the numbers, and we'll navigate all of that coming up in just a few minutes.
For nearly 2 weeks now, 4 wildfires in Nebraska have been burning through over 800,000 acres of land, many of which are ranch land for livestock.
In an effort to help our neighbors to the south, PastureMatch.com was created by a rancher near Winter. She says the goal is to match people with available pasture land to Nebraska ranchers in need of space for their livestock.
I've heard reports from anywhere from 25 to 50,000 head of cattle that are going to need a place to go because that's how many acres of grazing and other pasture that has been burned by these fires. And so that's why it's really important.
If you don't have pasture land available but would still like to help people impacted by the Nebraska fires, we've included a list of resources under this story on KELOLAND.com.
Rapid City announced more details for America's 250th celebration yesterday.
This event is expected to have things for all ages, such as kids zones, touch a truck, historical reenactments, artistic highlights, and live music from both local and regional musicians.
To come out and join us near and far to celebrate the best of America, celebrate all that we have to offer, plenty of activities and fun to be had for people of all ages, all interests, right here at Main Street Square, all the way to the Memorial Park.
The Real America Birthday Bash is set to run July 1st through the 4th.
A new event is rolling into the Sioux Falls Convention Center this Friday and Saturday.
The Midwest Racing Expo and Car Show will include more than 90 vendors with items for drivers, fans, and promoters.
We have different vendors coming. If race teams or drivers in the area are looking for a new suit or helmet, we have vendors for that. We have a camper. If just an actual race fan is looking to buy a camper, we have camper dealers coming out there.
The inaugural event will run in conjunction with the Concrete Challenge, which is racing on syrup inside the Sioux Falls Arena.
Tickets for the Midwest Racing Expo and Car Show are $10 plus taxes and fees, while the Concrete Challenge runs $20 for adults and $15 for kids ages 6 to 12. We provided a link to each event with this story on KELOLAND.com.
That is a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get another Check Your Weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, tracking the weather forecast here as we look at things tomorrow. Obviously, warmer weather. That's going to mean more fire danger for the southwest. That's why we already have fire weather watches, and that does include the entire Black Hills. It includes prairie land south of Interstate 90. Nebraska, a lot of that area too. Just again, more of the same. It's another dry and pretty warm day there tomorrow. Today's forecast, we've got some clouds that have been a little thicker. I think overall that's probably limiting our temperatures just a little bit, but still they're well above normal. And in fact, even Sioux Falls will jump about 10 degrees over what we had yesterday. We're forecasting even 60s and low 70s in the southwest. Now for the overnight, not too chilly. I think we'll start the day primarily in the upper 30s and low 40s on Wednesday morning. And then of course with a milder start, it's going to jump and temperatures really climbing as we go into the afternoon. Sioux Falls on the books right now, we're forecasting 78. Obviously, the modeling is a little bit higher than that, so continue to monitor that. Here's a look at Thursday. A big drop in the temperatures going on here. Looks like 40s and 50s with a north wind, and there's even cooler weather likely by the time we get to Friday. So to wrap things up, high today 68 in Rapid City, 58 Sioux Falls. 7-day forecast is basically going to go up tomorrow and then back down on Thursday. Friday will be the coolest day of the bunch. We'll stay in the 40s, but then on Saturday and Sunday, a decent recovery weekend there. And in fact, by Monday, we might be closer to 70 degrees. So the takeaway is basically it's mainly dry and above normal most of the time. Aberdeen has a little better chance of some rain. I mentioned earlier, too, if we have some of that in the morning, you bet there could be a little snow blended in with that, at least initially. And then we'll stay in the 40s on Friday. I think right now that day in particular looks pretty chilly in the Northeast. Friday's forecast in Pierre is around 50. So yes, that's kind of the bottom or the dip on the temperature. But then by the weekend, soaring back to the 60s, and Rapid City will be every bit of that warmth, plus more, probably low 70s by Sunday and Monday. Check out the complete details online at KELOLAND.com.